Photographer's Chronicles, episode 38. Let's go.
Let's create.
Before I get started, let me start off by giving a shout out to my man over there at KB Photography for the dope shirt. Y'all see that? I like that. You can go to the website kpapparel.com. I'll drop the link down here in the comments just so y'all can get that and get one for yourself. KB, I'm sorry about the delay, bro. I know it took me a while, but I got you. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about AI. Let me tread softly out here because y'all get a little sensitive when we talk about AI around these parts. So per usual, everything I'm talking about today are just my opinions. It's not facts. I'm just telling you about my experiences and how I feel about things. So don't take my word as law. So anybody that knows me knows that I consider myself to be an artist. I really like to be a purist when it comes to being a photographer. And sometimes I think that the best way to learn is to go through things the hard way. And basically manual stuff, learn how to dial settings in yourself. There's nothing wrong with using automatic tools, but learn how it works and learn how to set it yourself. And that way you're able to customize your stuff a whole lot better than just accepting the settings of the camera. So for me personally, I enjoy AI. I like AI for when it comes to procedural things, if there's some steps that can be eliminated, I'll definitely use AI. If there's, especially with steps, when there's a process where it takes a bunch of steps for you to get the results, and AI can just condense it down to where it takes like a third of the time, definitely down for that. I like AI when it comes to information, looking up information or talking you through a process, you know what I mean? And to an extent, because one thing I am afraid of when it comes to AI, I don't want to forget how to use my brain. I don't want to become mentally lazy. So I'll use things, I'll use AI when it comes to accessing stuff that I don't have at my fingertips that I need right in the moment. However, I don't want to become so dependent on it that I don't know how to use my brain anymore. Perfect example is that, and I'm guilty of this, is GPS. I remember I was alive when GPS wasn't here, so I remember what it feels like to have to remember how to get to places and actually have to use a map, things like that. So now I use GPS and I'm lazy with it because the one thing I do like about GPS, it actually tells me like when the traffic is low or traffic is high, so it can redirect me. And I'm not against that. I just don't want to get so dependent on a system that I don't know how to live my life. And from a photography point of view, what AI has done when it comes to Photoshop and what's the other one, Lightroom? I love it. It basically takes procedures and it shortens them. Like instead of me having to go through a bunch of steps in order to accomplish a goal, it basically has things right there, or I can just type in the command and it does it for me. But again, most of the things that it does for me, I actually know how to do it manually by myself. I just think it puts people at a disadvantage who are just now starting to learn photography. It puts you at a disadvantage because you don't really know how to do it if it wasn't for AI. And I just can't explain to you how much I think it's important that you learn how to do those things for yourself. And my point of view goes hand in hand with just how I feel with photography. I own 2 film cameras, and those are my hobby cameras, and I take them with me. And the reason why, because I want to know how to dial in those settings myself. I want to learn the patience of having to frame a photo. I want to learn how to expose it correctly. And I want the pressure of knowing I only have 36 exposures. So the shot I take, I need to make sure it's a shot that I want. Now, and I'm guilty of it too, these digital cameras can make you lazy because you basically just spray. And if you spray enough, you're gonna get something good out of there versus getting something great, setting it up perfectly on purpose. It's just a big difference in my opinion. Now, the biggest issue I have with AI is creativity, honestly. So AI basically, it makes you not have to be creative. You can basically type something in and make it actually happen. Me personally, that's not you being creative. That's computers being creative. I admire people who have vision, and that's what sets people apart from, regular people from mortals when it comes to people who are very creative and very good at what they do. Because of the simple fact they can take a concept and put it together, and they literally can take it piece by piece and plan it, and in the end it comes out right. all the way from placement to how the light's gonna hit and color selection. And I think AI, it puts us in a position to take those kind of things for granted. You know what I mean? As far as people truly being talented and knowing what it takes in order to accomplish that. So I think it takes away the artistry as far as people being able to create the art and just putting it in, computers' hands and systems' hands, and thinking that, just basically pushing people who are gifted out in the cold. So I think one of the major questions we have is, do we think AI is going to push jobs out and take the place of people? So I think that there will be a sector of people that's going to lose out. And the reason why, because I think that there's some people who, when they're looking for photography, they're not really looking for the art of it. It's the procedural things. So for examples like, if somebody just wants headshots, and it's not that it matters who the photographer is. You got certain people who are just going to look for the best price and who can actually do the job well. That's it. They're not looking for creativity. They're not looking for your specific eye, anything like that. So I think that when it comes to like procedural photography, we're going to take some losses in that. And when it comes to AI, I mean, it's already taken, to me, the people we're going to lose are the people probably we've already lost, just with the technology that comes with cell phones now. And just the fact of what you're able to do with a phone versus a camera now. People don't always need the latest and greatest and the craziest capabilities and lenses when it comes to the type of photography they're looking for. Now the crowd I think we're going to keep is the crowds who actually enjoy art. You got people who actually follow certain photographers, follow certain painters, anybody in the creative realm, and they like that style. And they want to purchase those types of that type of work from this particular person. Some people actually admire the process, and they can look at the photo or whatever the art is and see the intricate details and understand the process that it took in order to accomplish that look. Just how you see people and they say they can look at certain images and know who did it. It's that little signature look. So to me, when you have clients that are into that, you're going to be able to, that's not going to push us out. And the other part to me is the personable part of it. You end up forming relationships with people. Personally, I can tell you, I've seen people come in as couples, and then next thing you know, there's marriage proposals, and you got families, and then you have kids, and it turns from newborns to first birthdays to fifth, all those things, that relationship. So some people are not going to want to deal with learning the technology, and I get it. So I'd rather come into a person that I know who does a good job, who I've been dealing with for all this time, and I like their work. Hey, let's just set something up. You come in there, give me 30 minutes to an hour, and we got you done. You know what I mean? Instead of having to go through. Some people are just going to prefer that. So while I think it'll be impactful, I don't think it's going to be very impactful, but it's just going to be interesting to see how all of it plays out. So that's all I got for this week, y'all. As usual, appreciate y'all coming in, tuning in, rocking with me. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to drop me down right here in the comment section. And again, my man KB, y'all make sure y'all go check him out. Y'all be easy.